They said the Whittakers were only quiet, not dangerous. People whispered about them when they passed through the narrow hills of West Virginia, always glancing over shoulders, but never stepping too close. The road that reached their cabin curled, like a snake through thick trees. It was hidden well, almost as if the forest wanted them forgotten. But forgotten they were not. Loraine Whittaker lived in that house. Her name stayed alive long after she disappeared. Born in a time when children were not held with warmth, but shaped by discipline, Loraine did not cry much. She learned early that silence was not only preferred, but expected. Her father worked with wood. His hands carried splinters that never healed. He built the home where Loraine lived, a home too small for secrets, but large enough for fear. Her mother spoke little. Her eyes told stories no one wanted to hear. Loraine walked barefoot, even in winter, her feet calloused like bark. Schoolmates said she stared too long. Teachers asked her questions she never answered. The others said she once stayed motionless for hours behind the schoolhouse after the bell had rung. No one dared ask why. At night, strange sounds came from the cabin. Not loud, just enough to disturb sleep. A dragging sound, followed by knocks without rhythm. Animals would not go near. Even the birds flew around that patch of forest. Locals believed Loraine talked to someone inside the walls. They thought it was her brother, Elijah, who had died long ago. But those who walked close to the house claimed they heard two voices, both hers. When she turned 17, Loraine stopped attending town gatherings. She did not show up at market. She did not appear at services. The preacher sent his son to check, but the boy ran back pale and shaken. He spoke of hands moving behind curtains, slow and deliberate, even though no one was there. Years passed. People stopped trying. The Whittaker cabin sank into the background. Vines covered its frame. Trees leaned toward it. One afternoon, a hunter wandered too far. He came upon the house, silent and rotting. But he swore he saw Loraine through the window, brushing hair that reached the floor. He did not knock. He did not return. Rumors grew again. Children dared each other to touch the fence. Some claimed the ground around the home was always damp, no matter the weather. One boy said his fingers tingled when he placed his hand on the wood. He could not explain why. In 1978, a letter arrived at the sheriff's office. It was written in shaky handwriting, unsigned. It read, "She is still there. She never left." The sheriff, an old man near retirement, decided to go. He brought 2 deputies. They reached the house near dusk. A door creaked open on its own. Inside, everything was covered in dust, but the floor was clean. A comb rested on the windowsill. The table had 1 plate, 1 cup. In the back room, they found a bed. It had not been slept in, but the pillow was warm. They called out. No one answered. Then came the sound. From beneath the floorboards, tapping, slow and steady. They lifted the boards. They found nothing but dirt. The house was searched top to bottom. No signs of Loraine. But on the wall, behind an old mirror, someone had written a date, October 5th, 1966, the day she was last seen in town. No one could explain how the writing was still fresh. The mirror had not been moved in years. They sealed the house. No one was allowed near. But every year, on the same date, someone leaves a comb at the front door. Always clean, always placed with care. No footprints, no trail, just the comb. Loraine's name never left the town. It clings to the trees, rides the wind, and settles. In the soil. Some say she was never real. Others believe she walks only when no one looks. The house still stands, crooked and tired. And if you walk by, very quietly, you might hear brushing, slow and soft, just behind the wall. Some say her voice calls for someone named Elijah. Some say it calls for you. Whatever lives there never aged, never moved on. The Whittaker name still breathes in whispers, and Loraine remains exactly where the forest wanted her, from the start alone, unseen, and never truly gone.